Welcome back. Time to get that portfolio.
Wow, an old Bofson Wang stereo. I hadn't seen one of those for years. Hobbs seemed to have a thing for 70s psychedelic jams. The record had stopped. It was Jasmine Breeze by the Hairy Lobsters.
Ah, the hairy lobsters.
Burroughs, Dick, Rand. Hobbs liked his literature heavy and paranoid. The stereo was switched off. Adjusting the volume wasn't going to make any difference. I turned the volume up a few notches. I didn't want to play around with the negligee. Those days are long gone. But I wondered who it did belong to. It was locked. I wondered what was behind the door.
Hey, stop meddling with that. The power's ropey enough as it is.
Blowing the power would certainly have distracted Hobbs, but the elevator alone wasn't going to trip the whole system.
Hey! I've told you, don't mess with that thermostat.
Can't do both at the same time.
I didn't need to sit. It was time for action. I wasn't going to mess around with that wiring. How about a top-up, Mr. Hobbs?
Don't mind if I do. Hey, I'm still drinking that.
Excuse me, Mr. Hobbs.
Oh, what do you want? You're supposed to be sprawled naked on that rug with the family jewels out.
Yeah, well, about that. Could I just ask you a couple of questions first?
Blimey, a model who's shy and chatty. It must be my birthday.
Yeah, about this naked sprawling.
Oh, what's up? Afraid of the shrinking effects of a cold warehouse?
No, it's just.
First time? Little embarrassed? Well, if it helps, we can all get naked.
No, definitely not.
Well then, what are you waiting for? Let the monkey see the nuts.
We had a saying in the Stobart family. If a job's worth doing, then do it with your pants on. But I thought you were a restorer, but you're working on this painting from scratch.
Well, yeah. Look, some clients want a painting that they don't own, restored from scratch, if you know what I mean.
No, I don't.
Don't worry, sunshine. Ignorance is bliss.
Do you know a Russian called Medovsky?
You know Medovsky?
Everyone in the London art scene knows Medovsky.
And everyone in the London art scene who likes their kneecaps knows when to keep their trap shut.
Climbing drain pipes was something I preferred to avoid, unless I had a great reason to do so. The drain pipe was more rust than iron.
I missed something.
Hey, Nico, got any ideas?
We need to take a look inside that folder.
Oi, you two. Less of the gabbing. I've got work to do.
My. If it isn't George Stobart.
Lady Piermont. Oh, my.
I was not expecting that.
Naked? Of course. As an artist's muse, one often finds oneself en pelotas. Now, George, don't be shy. Come here and give me a big hug.
That day was the day the nightmares had begun. Trapped, smothered, choking on lavender.
George, darling, pass me my robe. It's terribly cold in here.
Oi, what are you doing with a blooming robe on? God help me, but you're supposed to be naked. I've got a deadline to meet.
Well, you won't be meeting any deadlines with manners like that. And besides, it's freezing in here.
Lady Piermont and I had met before. She was larger than life.
She got a lot of fin in there, she was in the other game.
Lady Piermont.
Oh, George, be a darling and sort the heating out in here.
I'll see what I can do. Excuse me, Mr. Hobbs.
What now?
Lady Piermont was wondering if you could turn the heating up. It's very cold in here.
Oh, is that so? Well, tell Her Majesty that the heating stays off. The wiring in this place can't take the load.
I hear you did the restoration of that painting that got stolen recently in Paris?
Might have. It's a fine piece. You can smell the paint in every brushstroke.
I have a letter for you, Mr. Hobbs.
From the model agency. Bearing my life and models. Speaking of which, why have you still got your clothes on?
How about another whiskey?
Not bad if I do.
George, sweetheart, could you do something about the heating in this place?
Hey! I've told you, don't mess with that thermostat.
Sorry, but Lady Piermont is cold. I thought...
Look, pal, I know it's brass monkeys in here, but the wiring in this building is ancient, and the fuse box won't take it. Her Majesty will just have to get used to chapel hat pegs.
Lady Piermont, Mr. Hobbs won't let me turn up the heating.
Well, we'll soon see about that.
Oh, crumbs.
If you do not adjust the heating, I shall refuse to cooperate.
Lady Piermont, it's the circuits. they won't take the strain. You know what old buildings are like.
In which case, I see no reason for this session to continue.
Whoa, Lady Piermont, let's not be too hasty. I'm sure I can accommodate your needs.
Good. Perhaps you can start by letting George here turn up the heating.
Oh, go ahead then, but be careful. The power in here is temperamental.
I'd turned the thermostat up as far as it would go. I wondered if the suspicious wiring could be used to my advantage.
Sounds like I press the lift again.
Oh, you! Get down from there. You'll trip the power in the whole building if you're not careful.
The elevator on its own wasn't going to blow the power. I turned the volume down. I turned the volume up a few notches.
My good fellow, see to it that my glass is refreshed immediately.
How about a top-up, Mr. Hobbs?
That's smashing. Far away.
A word, if I may, Lady Piermont.
For you, George, I'm all ears. How can I help?
How did you come to be working with Mr. Hobbs?
Wheresoever a bohemian needs a helping hand, George, mine is always at the ready. And what better way to help than to expose one's flesh to the sensuous brushstrokes of such a talent?
Do you know anything about a stolen painting called La Maledicción?
Oh, is this another of your adventures, George? How delicious. My heart's a tremor, George. Do you think Wilf is mixed up with this?
Maybe, but I need you to act normally until we're sure.
Mum's the word, Georgie. I am the very soul of discretion, as you know.
You see that portfolio by Hobbs's table? You need to take a peek inside.
Be still, my beating heart. Just give me the nod and I'm putty in your hands.
So what have you been up to since our last encounter, Lady Piermont?
Charity work, dear boy.
Oh, any particular kind?
Young men, George. So many have lost their way. I try to guide them best I can.
Would you like a sniff of this?
I'd rather not. Gives me 70s flashbacks.
How about a shot of this, Lady Piermont?
Oh, no, dear. I don't touch the stuff. Reminds me of husband number 5. Or was it 6? Terrible bore, anyway. I'm strictly a gin girl. Ice and a slice and a whiff of tonic.
Could I tempt you with a cookie, Lady Piermont?
You could tempt me with many things, George. But a half-eaten rich tea is not one of them.
What do you think of this, Lady Piermont?
Not much, Georgie. Not much.
That's all for now.
That was never. That wouldn't have worked. I had no need to walk out onto the balcony.
Oh, I missed something.
Oh, you!
The elevator on its own wasn't going to blow the power.
Let's try to take another more. Okay.
I'd better not touch the thermostat again. Wary of any more life-changing surprises, I decided against exploring behind the screen. I'd already jerry-rigged the horn. I had no other reason to rummage around under the hood. I decided to leave the handbrake alone.
For God's sake, the door's open!
Climbing drain pipes was something... Unless I...
Well, I reckon that bird's got something to do with it.
The mailbox was empty. Hobbs looked mean. I decided to leave the guys alone. Excuse me, Mr. Hobbs.
Hold your horses, will you? We could chat in the pub once I've finished this.
Hobbs was really drunk. How about another whiskey?
Thanks, but I've already got a glassful. Hey, that's private.
Sorry, forgot. A word, if I may, Lady Piermont.
For you, George, I'm all ears. How can I help?
Lady Piermont, we need your help.
How thrilling! What do you need? Subterfuge? Leisure domain?
Actually, I just need you to step on that lift behind you.
Oh, but of course. Is this good, George, darling?
Perfect. Now, just stay right there.
Finally found out, I'm guessing. Whoops.
Now was my chance. It was one of Hobbs' sketches. It was one of...
Can't turn the page.
That was ne-
Right, I'll see you next time, guys.